What's happening,
I should have
everybody?
been in.
Welcome to Game Day with Trei, man. This is your host, Trei. That's my homeboy Face up there in the left corner. And we got a special guest tonight, all right, by the name of Mr. Malachi Williams, a.k.a. Coach Malachi, man. And tonight he's coming in. He's going to go ahead and talk to us a little bit about that Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight. All right, now, first and foremost, brother, everything that I see about this fight right now, okay,
Hmm.
everything I've read, all the videos I've watched, and all that. Not only do they tell me that Terrence Crawford is ambidextrous and he's very skilled, yada yada yada, but Errol Spence, Errol Spence's defense and the pressure he applies during the fights, okay, as he keeps busy, and the way he closes space and the force he puts on those body blows, because he is a body blow fanatic. All right.
Hmm.
Talking to you as a boxing aficionado, man, please give me your perspective on this fight. What do you see? Because I see this is a battle of styles. This is like Sugar Ray and Hearns back in the day, kind of. It's gonna be a very good fight. But what do you say, brother?
Well, you hit the nail right on the head. Styles make fights. Errol Spence is very, very good. He's a very good flat-footed, come forward fighter. Work behind the jab. The guys he recently have been beating, like he beat Danny Garcia, beat Ugas. Spence likes to fight those guys that's sitting right in front of him. Crawford is not going to be in front of him. He's not. He's going to find that Crawford is going to be a little bit more elusive than he think he's going to be. The footwork, he's not a flat-footed fighter. Crawford, ring IQ, has been boxing a long time. He's very, very smart. I
Yes,
think he turned
39
pro
and 0.
2018.
Okay, yeah.
When people talk about Spence, they talk about his size. He's just too big. The size ain't gonna matter. Size not gonna help him. Size not gonna matter in this fight. Basically, it's going to be who has the hand-eye coordination, the proper footwork, who control the distance and range. Who know how to set the shots up pretty well. How good how defensively each man can be. How can you slip, counter, parry, stuff like that. There's a lot of other things that's going to go into play as related to this fight, which ain't gonna have nothing to do with size. Like, well, he just big. He just gonna come in there and his size is gonna be a factor. No, it doesn't work like that. Two welterweights fighting each other. It is what it is. May the best man win.
Yeah, well, one thing about it, man, the breakdown that you just gave and synopsis that you just spoke on was not only on point, but it was exactly what I expected to hear. Okay, because
Mm.
when you find somebody who's ambidextrous, who goes not just left-handed but right-handed in their fighting style, okay, and it has the ability to slip punches like Terrence Crawford or Bud Crawford has. All right, you are fighting a boxer that is more akin to like a gladiator type dude. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, get in the ring, bare knuckle, he could do it all. Okay, we all know Terrence Crawford is the better athlete, and everybody talks about Errol Spence being bigger, but it when you got two southpaws going against each other, man, like that's the thing that intrigues me about this fight is the fact that you got two of the greatest southpaws of this generation fighting each other, and not just fighting each other. One of them can actually switch, which you don't get this kind of fight too often. If you go back to when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Hagler, or no, it wasn't Hagler, it was Hearns. When he fought Tommy Hearns, okay, and Hearns came out in the first 2-3 rounds. Okay, he came out with his right-handed stance or orthodox stance, but later in the fight he switched to that southpaw, but it was a little too late. He was a little bit too far behind in the fight at that point in time, man.
You talking about Hagler?
Hagler, yes, it was Hagler. It
Yeah,
was
Hagler. Yeah,
Hagler.
yeah. He came
Yeah,
out. He came out. I think he came out in the open hand stance, and then he tried to go in the closed hand stance with the southpaw, some of that sort. But
mm-hmm.
that was that fight was so close. People felt that was a that fight went either way. I think Hagler lost a split decision. So I mean, it is what it is. As it relates to this fight right here, again, I look at I look at the little things like footwork matters. You
Yes.
know, you know, he's not going to be. Put it this way, like me, I betted on this fight, right? I'm betting Crawford by knockout.
Yeah.
People gonna be surprised. People gonna be shocked because people gonna really be shocked. That footwork is everything. that footwork is everything. When you see
It's
that,
because
how
it's
good
because the
Crawford.
footwork. It's because the footwork creates the angles, brother. Like
Yeah,
that footwork creates the angles and everything that you do, especially when you talk about boxing and the sweet science. All right, but go ahead, go continue. I'm sorry
you're
to
gonna you're
interrupt.
gonna see the total opposite of Ugas.
Yeah, okay.
You ain't gonna see high guard sitting there. You hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. I try to get a shot in. We
Mm-hmm.
sitting there looking at each other, trying to figure it out. You hit me. It ain't gonna be that. It's not gonna be Danny Garcia. It ain't gonna be none of that. I'm telling you, the size ain't gonna. The size is not gonna matter.
Hmm.
You got to look at the other intangibles: the footwork, the angles, ring IQ, the feints. Who's gonna be more defensively sound? Who know how to? Who do you trust? That's going to be able to figure it out when you in war in that dog fight. The ability to be able to figure it out, to make adjustments. It's you're going to see a lot. You're going to see the best version probably of both guys, but you're going to see something from Terrence Crawford that you haven't seen. You're going to be like, a lot of people are going to be shocked. I got Crawford by. I don't have Crawford winning the fight. I got him by knockout. I'm got him by 10th round knockout,
Now
and I
see,
haven't I haven't
right.
wavered in that. I haven't wavered in that at all. I've been saying that before the car accident. Um, then there's a lot of things I know, of course,
Mm-hmm.
about Spence. Both guys' lifestyles in between in the ring, in between fights. One guy lives the life of a boxer. He don't drink, smoke, party, do any of that stuff. Another
Yeah.
guy, when he's not boxing, he does a whole lot of other stuff, and till he comes back in and get ready to fight someone. So I look at all of those things. Um, I just got crumpled by knockout. Simple as that.
Yeah, man. Look, I would love to disagree with you on this, but I honestly can't disagree with you just because of the
Mm.
fact that outside of the ambidextrous stuff and the greater athlete and this, that, and the third, I have also heard a lot about their outside of the ring and how Errol Spence chooses to live his life and handle his
Can
career,
y'all hear
which
me now?
I don't want to disparage no man, and I'm not talking down on anybody for how they handle themselves,
Yeah, yeah,
especially if they're as successful as he is. He's way more successful than I am at this point, but at the same time, okay, he's been living off a God-given ability and attributes, man. Okay, I love the young man's style. I love what he does when he's in the ring. But if you're not all in, then you're all out. Okay,
right.
and then when it comes to my money, I got to go with Crawford for multiple reasons. All right, even though he's the smaller fighter, he's gonna be the more technically sound fighter. He's gonna be the one whose defense is really going to win the fight for him because he is more of a defensive fighter versus Errol Spence, who is someone who likes to push the pace, and pushing the pace a lot of times can get you in trouble. If you remember back to the Pacquiao fight, Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight, even though Pacquiao came out in the beginning and was throwing the punches like he would normally throw and staying busy, he got punished for the fact that he was not landing a lot of those punches. And by the eighth and seventh round, okay, it was really just all Mayweather, man. You know,
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, a lot of see when people say that he's too small, both men are coming in at 147 pounds.
yeah.
So if both men have to weigh in at 147 pounds, what does it mean he's too small? Crawford has been in the welterweight division since 2017, so his body has got acclimated to the welterweight division, right? Um, so I don't get that. So are you saying that, yeah, man, what's going to happen is when he rehydrate, he's going to be way bigger than Crawford when he rehydrates? I said, okay, well, I mean, we don't know what weight Errol Spence is going to be in that. It doesn't matter. As long as they make the weight, that's it. What they do after and get in the ring, now it's going to be something totally different because it's going to come down to the X's and O's and tangibles. I've been at pre-training camp with Crawford.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I have video footage. I have pictures and stuff when I was in Omaha and stuff like that. And that dude, he trains like he was in shape. When I saw him in February, he was 156 pounds in February.
Mm.
He
Can
stay in
y'all hear me
shape.
now? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
I couldn't. It,
There you go.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Malachi. Finish up, man. Finish what you were
oh
saying.
yeah, nah. So that there's just a lot of things that I know personally. Um, Again, when I hear people like you say, you like to push the pace. Well, the only problem with that is, you can push the pace on other flat-footed fighters that's going to sit in front of you. and you can eventually wear down, and you're fighting smaller fighters like Lamont Peterson and stuff like that. The one guy who really gave you issues was the guy that had footwork with Sean Porter. Only reason Sean Porter lost that fight and split decision was because he got knocked down, flash knocked down. He jumped right back up, but he got caught being wild, swinging that wild hook, and Spence caught him with a short left hook and dropped him. His glove touched the mat. It came back up. So, but if you watch that fight, that was the closest fight Spence ever had. Like, he was shot. But Porter was catching him with all types of shots, spinning him, giving him angles. That footwork gave him fits. So when I watched Derek James, which is Spence's interview, and Spence's trainer, he was like, "Yeah, man, he ain't gonna be able to be running around." But Crawford don't do no running around, and he got to sit in there and fight. So what Derek James saying is, look, we need Crawford to stand right in front of Spence, like Ugas and them did, and then sit there and bang and trade. You're not going to get that kind of fight.
Nah.
If that's your guy's only chance of winning the fight, he's in trouble.
It's already over.
But then you got to think about Terrence Crawford. He's the type of fighter that could stop the fight if you do stand in front of him. He's the one that got the most knockouts in the last 10 fights. I think he done knocked out all the opponents.
Yeah, he knocked them all out. So yeah, so the thing is with Crawford and Spence, it's a good fight. But for me, just me on the outside looking in, this fight is not going to be what a lot of people think it's going to be. I'm like, it's not going to be what a lot of people think it's going to be. Like, people going to be shocked. People going to be shocked. They're going to be like, I can't believe the fight went the way it did. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked.
Hey, that's a good thing.
I do think Spence probably put a little extra training into this one, just because of who it is and how bad he said he wanted this fight. So I do believe he's gonna probably be in the best shape he's probably been in a long time, because he does know who he's up against and what's at stake right here. This is like your legacy on the line, basically. Going out against another undefeated fighter and a fighter that you've been wanting to fight all this time. I know you should be at tip-top shape and ready for this fight, because you asked for it. You say you stayed out of the ring for a whole year, because this is the fight that you wanted. So if this is what you want, this is what we're going to see, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
Yeah. Now, next week, for me, July 29th can't get here fast enough for me. I told Bud that I'm going to tell you what I told Bud. I told Crawford, I said, listen, man, you fighting over there at the PBC. You're not a PBC fighter. You're not a PBC fighter. You're not one of Al Heyman boys. So I told him, Bomac, I got an interview. It's on my YouTube, it's on my channel. I told him, Bomac, Red, Saul, Burner the Boxer. I say, man, the only way I see you winning this fight,
what is the link to your channel? What's the link to your channel, bro? What's the link?
Subscribers find your channel, brother?
Oh yeah, it's TRUMedia, TRU Media Today USA Boxing.
Okay.
And now
you'll see it.
YouTube, or is that
it's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, I got the hottest boxing. I got the hottest boxing YouTube channel on YTBC. I just got off my live. We had like 500 people in the chat. I averaged probably about the highest amount of people I had on the show one time was probably like maybe 1,800, 2,000.
Okay.
That's when Deontay Wilder got knocked out by Tyson Fury. And I do fight parties every Saturday when there's a major fight, of course. And then today we had like probably about 500 people in the chat. So I've been on YouTube, man. That's pretty much, and this is a hobby for me. I only do it part-time, so. But it's very, very well. It's very, very popping, man. My show is very engaging. There's nobody on YouTube boxing that's show is better than mine. Production, just the energy. People laugh, have fun. I'm very engaging. A lot of guys are just very boring and subtle. You have other guys out there. They've been doing it longer than me, but they're not better than me.
Okay.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, bro. Well, look, anybody and everybody out there, first and foremost, before we get back to what we were talking about, please go subscribe to my man's page. All right, because this is a very
Right.
knowledgeable brother. Not just only is he knowledgeable, but he is connected. All right, and if you love boxing, if you love the sweet science, if you are into everything that a pugilist can be into, then this is the guy you should be following, man. Real talk.
Yeah, remember, TRUMedia Today, USA Boxing, TRUmedia Today, USA. Just type TRUMedia Today, USA, I'll come up. You'll see it. My logo is just a pair of boxing gloves with a name on it, and you'll see all of the videos, the live shows, and the videos that I drop. You know.
If anybody got any problems finding it, there will be a link, probably right now, that's popping up in the video. So please go follow my man.
Oh, can I put it in the chat?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, let me put it in the chat. Hold on.
Face.
What's up, bro?
We've heard from Malachi right now, man. And we've heard a little bit from you as far as why you believe that Crawford could be the guy. But do you think this is going to be a knockout? Like, because everything I'm seeing is talking about 10th round. The 10th round is where it's going to get crucial for either boxer.
I feel like this. He done knocked out the last 10 of his opponents. Now, this man done said that he wanted you for a whole year. He stayed out the ring for a whole year. That's not a fight that you're going to come in and try to win on a decision. I feel like he already made his decision that he want to knock out. I want to knock this dude out. You want me this bad, I want to knock you out. I don't want to just beat you. You did what I'm saying? I feel like when you put certain words into the universe, you know what I mean, it's going to have a reaction. And I feel like Crawford, this is the type of fight that, you know, everybody want to see. This is the type of fight, undefeated fighter. That's like a sniper. Your best kill is another sniper. So if you undefeated, I want to be the first one to beat you. And then when you say you wanted me this long, man, you really wanted me this long, I want to knock you out. I want to put you to bed. So I feel like, you know, Crawford has shown that he has the ability to do what he 30.
Crawford has done it.
39 wins. And he got, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay.
I want to say it's 39 wins and 35 knockouts. It's something like that, brother.
No, he got 35. I think he got 31 knockouts.
31, yo.
30 or 31.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, I think that this is going to be the worst fight that Errol Spence signed up for. Okay, this is just my honest opinion, and I'm only saying that because of the fact that you're coming off of a car accident. Okay, you got the retinal tear that you had with your eye. Okay, you're boxing someone with a lot more experience than you. You got 22 wins. He got 39. He done boxed in the Olympics. He has won at every single level that he has been at. All right, and Errol Spence too. He has also won at every single level he's been at too. I'm not besmirching the man at all. Your dude can box.
Yeah, Spence is Spence. I think Spence has like 28, 29 wins, something of that sort.
28 wins, 22 knockouts.
22 knockouts. Yeah. Spence went to the Olympics. He lost in the Olympic trials or something of that sort. He was on the Olympic team, but he ended up losing.
He was actually on the team. I know Crawford made the team and made it.
No. Crawford didn't make it. Crawford didn't even make the team. No, Crawford didn't make the team at all. Yeah, okay. Because he was being trained by Kenny Porter, which is Sean Porter's dad. It was Barry Hunter. It was a bunch of those guys over there. That 2000. It's the 2008 Olympic team.
Okay.
The 2008. I want to say around that time. The 2008 Olympic team, because Spence turned pro in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Crawford turned pro in 2008. So, yeah, he really got it from the mud. He was an underachiever, overachiever. No one expected a guy from Omaha, Nebraska to be where he's at. No one saw that coming nowhere. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, 39 fights later, he's here. You know, and he's been, you know, every time he step in the ring, they say he can't do it. He does it. You know, he finds a way to win. But not only win, he finds a way to stop these guys. Yeah. He's always a smaller guy when he steps in the ring. He's a slim guy. Yeah. He's always find a way to win and stop these guys, knock them out. And what I notice is the guys who are very, very aggressive that try to come at him, they get stopped.
He gonna bait him.
Yeah, because the thing is,
it ain't no bait. You coming.
The thing is
you coming.
When you're fighting someone that's a counter puncher, it can counter punch as well. You walk into traps. Yeah. So when someone is overly aggressive or working or being aggressive, opening up their offense, the thing is when you throwing a lot of punches, you're opening yourself up to a lot of counter shots. And if you got a guy that has the good footwork with it as well, while you throwing punches, he's slipping and countering you from different angles. Like you saw what Shawn Porter was doing. Shawn Porter was a shorter fighter, but Shawn Porter has some of the best footwork in boxing of this particular era. He had great footwork, so he was able to spin Spence at will when Spence was coming at him, and Shawn Porter felt his back on the ropes. Watch that fight again. Look how he was able to spin him, hit him, catch him, have him backing up at times in that fight because that footwork gave him problems. You're dealing with a fighter that has a 74-inch arm reach. He has the longer arm reach. Spence may be a little taller. I think Crawford is 5'8". Spence is like 5'9.5". But Bud has very, very long arms.
Yeah,
very long arms.
Good feet could close that gap so fast. When you got good feet, man, that's so important. That could close the gap because he could follow them long jabs home. He could follow them home. When you got good footwork, it'll suffice for a lot of things, man. And that's really what it's. Because I used to train, and guess what? He wouldn't let me throw a punch until I start working on got my footwork together. You ain't gonna throw a punch until you got your feet together.
When you first step into a boxing ring with a coach that's half his salt, he's gonna make you go ahead. You ain't gonna throw no punch for the first 2 months. And the first 2 months, all you're gonna be doing is going around in a square inside the ring, getting your footwork right, knowing how to navigate the ring, and knowing how to create the angles and this, that, and the third. You ain't gonna throw no punches. For all y'all who don't know, you ain't throwing no punches.
Because everybody think the hands are the most important in boxing.
Nah,
the
footwork.
The feet get you in place to get your hands where they need to go. You have to have the footwork is like that's the key. The hands, feet, and everything come from your feet. You know what I mean? You got to be able to throw a proper punch. You got to be in a proper place. The foot movement is like that's the most important thing. Look at Mayweather. He showed you that the footwork is. He fought taller fighters. He fought different fighters, but the way that he moves around, the way that he
not just Mayweather. You look at all the greats. Look at Roy. Okay, Florida boy, Roy Jones. Okay, Roy Jones's footwork put him in so many different awkward positions that most people could not defend and fight from. All right, but the positions that he was putting himself in created the angles where he's knocking dudes out with a punch to the ribs. Okay, like that type of stuff. All right, with angles not only shorten the distance, but they create more force and more momentum and power within your punch. It's all on your angles, brother. All on your angles.
Yeah, footwork is something that a lot of like boxing fans who may be like casuals, they totally don't talk about. Yeah. It's like you have no idea. Like that footwork gets you in trouble, out of trouble. That footwork is very, very important. That footwork puts you in a position that allows you to be able to throw punches and land punches at angles that the guy that's in front of you won't be able to see coming. That's what happens. Like they talk about the slick black fighter. Those slick black fighters, what that means is you fighting someone who has very, very good footwork, and he's not going to just be sitting there in front of you when you throw that punch. He ain't going to be there. I'm not talking about someone who's just running around, but you look at some, he's elusive. He know how to. James Lights Out Tony, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Watch him. That's the definition of a slick black fighter. Georgie Benton, another one who invented the shoulder roll. They call it Philly shell or whatever the case may be. They call it the Philly shell. Floyd Mayweather, they call it the shoulder roll, but it's really the Philly shell. And you make the targets.
I wanted to ask you a question, man. Okay, while you're bringing up Mayweather, and this is completely off topic, but it's on topic. So I've watched a lot of Mayweather fights and watched a lot of film on Mayweather. Mayweather does this thing to where he when a boxer has him in trouble,
Okay.
okay, he does this thing where he like does a mummy on you. He extends his arms and creates a distance between you and him so that he can slip every punch and create better angles by controlling you with his hands in the
That's a
direction
measure.
that he's going. Have you noticed
That's a
that? And what do
measuring
they call
stick.
that, man? Because I've never seen
That's
anybody
a
do that
measuring stick.
until him. And now I'm not talking about the measuring stick
That,
because he does more than just measure you when he's doing that. When he's doing that,
yeah,
he's
because
actually
he know
just
it.
creating
He
more
know it.
distance and giving
He
himself more
know. He
rest.
know it. He know it. Because guess what? He know it. He know what you once he put it out there, and whatever size you throw it, he already know. That's
That's what
why
I'm
he's sticking
saying.
it out there to measure you. But he know what.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
I've never
I'm
seen
gonna show you.
another
I'm gonna
boxer.
show you somebody
I've
else who
never
do it.
seen another
I'm gonna
boxer use that technique like he uses that
Tank
technique.
Davis. Tank Davis.
Yeah, but he
Watch
come from
Tank
Floyd.
Davis.
He come from
Now
Floyd.
I'm just showing you he uses it real
Yeah.
good. He know
Tank
he'll
Davis,
do
Devin
that
Haney
to
does it
see
too.
where you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
he uses it just like
Devin
Floyd.
Haney,
He
Shakur
don't see
Stevenson
where
does
you
it.
punch. He telegraphing your punches basically.
Mm-hmm.
He measure you and he telegraphing with you feel what I'm saying? Once he stick
Yeah.
it out there,
Oh no, I
he
know
see
what
which
he's
side you
doing.
slip on. They gonna slip to the other
I know
side.
what he's
And
doing.
that's how you knock
But
the feet.
what is that
That's how you knock
actually
the Spanish
called?
dude out.
What is that
I
actually
mean,
called?
it's not called. Or you mean
They need to
no?
call
They
it
just
something because
he's
I've never
measuring
seen
them.
another
Like,
boxer do it like he does it. I've never seen another boxer do it like he does it.
You gotta look at this here.
Larry
How many
Holmes. Larry
times have
Holmes
you
used to do
seen?
that too, though. Larry Holmes used
Yeah,
to do that.
Yeah, but when Larry
yeah.
did it, I consider because he would more grab you after that. Larry Holmes will stick them arms out, but when you get
But
closer, he's gonna grab you and hold on a little bit. Floyd ain't holding on
Oh,
to
he'll
you.
drop that right hand on you.
Yeah,
Larry
exactly.
and
Holmes.
watch how many fights. Look at Floyd Mayweather fights and watch how many fights you'll see the fighter his punch and he right at the end of it. You
Yeah,
won't
but
hit him. He right at
that
the
comes
end
from
of
the
it.
measuring. That come from the measuring,
That's what
which I
I'm telling
totally
you.
get. But somebody needs to title that whatever it is because nobody's
Oh, you
done
mean like
that
give it a
specific
name, like
style
Philly
like
Shell or
Floyd.
something?
Yeah, they need to give
No,
him a
that's not
proper
a.
name for that.
Oh,
I'm not
I mean
saying like
that's just a boxing maneuver. That's all it is, really, just a boxing maneuver. Um,
I've never seen anybody use it the way Floyd uses it. When I think back to any of the fighters back in the 80s, going into the 90s, okay, because most of my history with boxing is 80s boxing, 90s boxing, going into 2000s. All right. Yeah, I've watched older video. I've watched a lot of older video and done a lot of studying on the greats, but not. I haven't physically seen it with my own two eyes growing up. You know what I mean? And as I was growing up through the 80s and the 90s, coming into the 2000s, when I watched boxing, I never saw anybody use that actual move as much as he uses it to the style and technique he uses it. Because he doesn't use it to grab onto you. He doesn't use it to try to bait you in and knock you out. All he's doing is using it to create more space and create more time. He's not going to really hit you after that.
And the
He's going to
counterpunch
tap
you.
you, create some more
Yeah.
points. Okay? But the outside of that,
you just answered the question. If he uses it for space and create more time, it's what Shannon is saying. Is the he's measuring.
He's measuring.
What's my main man
agree.
Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp spoke about that.
Okay.
Shannon Sharp when he was I think I saw him talking about this on his show. Yeah, it's a measuring stick. He measures you. Now you saying the way he does it, the way everybody does things differently. But it serves the same purpose though.
Mm-hmm. Getting your man in
I'm
position.
telling you what he uses it as. He measure you and he telegraph your punch. Because once he stick it out there and you respond to it, he can see it coming. He know that's how Tank knocked the dude out. Once he seen it, which side he punched on, he slipped to that side and went to the body. That's how he knocked the boy. He wasn't even really trying to do that at the time. He just slipped the punch. When he slipped that punch, his body was right there. That's why you ain't even see it was like a flash down there when he knocked. And that's the same way Floyd used it. He measured he really trying to counterpunch you. Really, that's basically what he's doing. His feet so good and his hands so fast. He can actually do that and get away with it. A lot of fighters can't do that and get away with it. That's why they don't use it the way that he uses it. But Floyd's defense is so impeccable, he can actually stand there and do that where a lot of fighters ain't even going to attempt to stay there as you punch him. He wait for you to punch so he can see where you coming from, and that's how Floyd.
Is waiting so he can slip and he can tap you. because he ain't trying to knock you out. All he's trying to do is point you.
But guess what? Every time somebody that came in there, every one of them fighters that got in front of Floyd saying he ain't got no knockout power, he always do it to him. He always embarrass him. Look what he did to Pacquiao, for real. Pacquiao said this man. He went to the middle of the ring with Pacquiao.
Hey, we ain't even got enough time because this for the
he stood in the middle of the ring with Pacquiao.
The next 2 minutes, okay? But I'm gonna let you know.
Look at that fight. He stood in the ring. He stood in the center of the ring with Pacquiao.
I'm not denying he beat Pacquiao, but boy, when you duck him for years, there seems to be a problem.
But I'm saying, don't sit there and say this man won't what he won't do.
Another boxer to get knocked out before you actually take the fight, it says something to me personally. There ain't been one person in my life I done waited for something else to happen. If I wanted to get you, I got you. And if it's money on the line, I'm coming to get it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they say Floyd was good.
Pacquiao was saying Floyd was going to dance. Floyd went straight to the middle of the ring and gave him the business.
Nah, Sugar Shane Moses said something. He said Floyd is the master of fighting people at the right time.
Yep. The master.
I'm saying you got two different Floyds.
Go ahead, Malachi.
You got Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was different from Money Mayweather. After Oscar De La Hoya, he became Money Mayweather. That was the fight that made him that crossover. Money Mayweather was fought totally different from Pretty Boy Floyd. So Money Mayweather was about picking the fighters at the right time. It is what it is. That's what he did, and he spoke about it. He was in interviews saying that once he got in a position, he was able to pick and choose who he wanted to because he earned that right. Like I have videos that I play on my show. He talks about that. So Money Mayweather was different from Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was stopping dudes.
Yeah.
If you look at his first 35 fights with top rank, but his last 15 fights, his last 14 fights, because I don't count the Conor McGregor fight. That's not a professional fight.
Y'all talking about the Hollywood.
No, we ain't talking about the look, man. He was Hollywood before he fought Pacquiao.
Y'all talking about the later on down.
He was Hollywood before he fought Pacquiao. We talking about when he made the decision and he changed over after he fought.
That was 2007. After he fought Oscar De La Hoya, that was 2007. He became Money Mayweather after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say Floyd is 49-0.
Yeah, that's what I say.
He's not 50-0. How can you have an exhibition match fight a guy that was 0-0? He never had a professional boxing match before in his life.
Then you didn't knock him out. You didn't knock him out. That's what blew my mind. You didn't knock him out. Oh my goodness.
Floyd carried him.
Hey.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a money grab. He made a whole lot of money, but let's be realistic. The guy was 0-0. He's fighting a fighter that's been to the Olympics, silver medalist, 49 professional fights, versus the guy who's never had a professional boxing match before in his life. He comes from the MMA,
mm-hmm.
and this is counted this was sanctioned as a boxing match. 50th fight, I broke Rocky Marciano record. I'm 50-0. I'm the best. No, the last fight don't count.
Exactly.
That's an exhibition.
Yep.
I haven't found anyone that's a pro Floyd fan, and I like Floyd, one of my favorite fighters. But any pro Floyd fan I talk to, they have a hard time trying to explain that to me.
Look, I like Floyd.
Yeah.
Okay, but Face knows how I feel about him ducking that fight for as long as he ducked that fight. So he knew what fight he was thinking when he even brought that up. The Pacquiao fight.
Pacquiao.
When he fought Pacquiao. You know
man.
You know how I felt about that.
You can't duck that man.
You don't duck no right.
Pacquiao was on steroids. Pacquiao was on steroids, man.
Listen, brother.
Even if tarnish that man's legacy, you want to fight.
When he got popped for steroids?
Exactly. When did that happen?
Pacquiao was on steroids.
No, Pacquiao never got popped for steroids.
He never tested dirty for nothing.
Nothing.
Who?
At all.
Pacquiao. Has he ever got popped for steroids?
No.
Oh no, I gotta look that up. I think he did.
No, he hasn't.
Steroids, Face.
No, I'm telling you, he's never been popped for steroids. Pacquiao never had a dirty.
No. I'm thinking about. Who was supposed to fight in like 2000 and Cotto, yeah, you right there. Because Cotto, I think the one told him. He said, man, I done fought this dude. No, it was somebody on steroids. Because he said, I done fought this dude. And,
well, you must be talking about Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley got popped.
No, matter of fact, I'm talking about Pacquiao.
Pacquiao has never been popped for steroids, brother.
Listen. He wouldn't take the fucking test. He wouldn't do it. That's what I'm talking about. He said, I don't
it wasn't that he wouldn't do the blood test. Hold up. I'll tell you what exactly happened. I remember exactly. He said he would not face. He said he would not do the blood test within 24 hours of the fight. He would do the blood test as normally done. Hold up.